Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in, and we are discussing five fundamental truths of the market. Five fundamental truths of the market. Today, I refuse to sit on the table and sit around to try and make it look like all the other YouTube channels. So I'm trying to be myself here and just share what I have learned over the past 3 years in the markets. And therefore, this is what you will need actually to be able to avoid trading with fear and avoid trading with emotional pain. That's what we want to avoid here. To be able to trade without experiencing any emotional pain when the trade goes against you, or when your stop loss is hit, or when all of that. I believe if you've gone through trading, you know what I'm talking about. When it comes to emotional pain, it's so painful. When an account blows, or when you you enter three, four trades, and then the market goes. You anticipated the market to go in your direction, but then it went the other way. Therefore, you experience pain. All of this. Uh, these are all the kind of pains that we have experienced around the markets. But today, I want to discuss how to actually avoid this. How to trade without fear, and because trading without fear is the right way to consistent profits. Trading without fear is the way to consistent profits, because once you are afraid, your mind interprets the market in a different way. Your mind switches on to defense mode, and therefore all you'll be doing is actually trying to defend and switch. You should read more on the theory of how the mind reacts to danger. Yeah. So that's what happens when you are in fear. Your mind is obstructed, and you cannot see what you're supposed to see in the market. You're only seeing things that are pleasing to your mind, and therefore, because of I don't want the video to be so long, I won't go deep into that. But subsequent on succeeding videos, I will definitely be going into that, how the mind works when it comes to fear. But the secret is this: the secret to consistent profit is trading without fear. The secret to consistent profit is trading without fear. What is consistent profit? Consistent profit is when you are having a, a constant rising equity curve. That means your equity, in your MT5, it's always going up. You do get some losses, but those losses don't really affect. They are not drastic drawdowns. They don't affect the account that deep. Therefore, your profits still continues. Your equity still continues going up. That's what we talk about. Consistently rising equity curve. Where some other people have equity curves where make big money and then boom, it drops. I call that the boom and buster cycle. You make big money and then boom, you drop it, you lose 50% of the account again, and then you make big money, you lose 80% of the account, then you go up, 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 up. There's no consistency in there, and therefore, what you are not being told is that us knowing that when you're trading forex, there are two parties to a trade. There's a buyer and a seller. When you're buying, you're actually selling the other or shorting the other trade or the other currency pair. That's what happens there. Therefore, there's always two people on one trade. One person will have to win and one will have to lose, because one person is taking a buy and one person is taking a sell on those two currency pairs you're taking there. And therefore, because you want to be because majority of the trading volume in the forex market is from big banks, institutions, professional traders, PhDs, all those kind of people from Wall Street, the city banks, and then all those other banks you see in America there, because they are contributing largely the trading volume. They are most likely the only ones who will always be most of the times on the other side of the trade, right? And therefore, the idea is that to actually be consistently profitable, you have to continue beating out the people on the other side of the trade. You have to continue beating the people on the other side of the trade. That's what you have to be able to beat the people on the other side of the trade. That's what we have to understand there. So how do you beat that? By performing consistently, trading without fear. Trading without fear. How do you trade without fear? There are about five principles that I would like to teach. I will be teaching over and over again in the process, and therefore, once you really take these principles, they're supposed to change your mental belief system, because trust me, this is how your brain works. How do you interpret things? How do you interpret things? So, because you have already seen things, I'm trying to find an explanation. So let me pause this and try and think exactly and come back to you. Yeah. So there are five principles I propose that if you get to listen, or if you get to put them into practice, actually it will change the whole perception of you actually being trading with fear and having emotional pain whenever what the market goes against your expectations, right? So there are five principles, and therefore you have to believe in them, and therefore actually you can believe in them by words and mouth and thing and deciding at that point in time, but it's actually difficult to put them in your mental belief system. And therefore I've certain exercises that if you can do them, actually they will help you change your mental belief system and believing this. So number one, you have to believe that anything can happen in the market. Anything can happen in the market. That's number one. You have to believe that at any point in time in the market, anything can happen. It can go up, spike down, anything can happen. And then you have to believe that everything in the market is every moment in the market is unique. Every moment in the market is unique. Every moment in the market is unique. Anything can happen in the market, and every moment in the market is unique. Anything can happen in the market. Every moment in the market is unique. Number three, an edge is nothing more than an indication that there's a high probability of one thing happening over another. An edge is nothing more than just an indication that it will be a buy or sell. That's all. A bull, uh, what do you, what is this? Different things we see. A bullish harami or whatever bullish, what candlestick or a cup and handle, all of those are just but edges, and they only indicate a high probability of the market going in this direction than this direction. That's what they are. All they are nothing more than that. They're basically indication that the market is going to go. There's a high probability, a high chance that the market will go in that direction or the other direction. Anything can happen in the market. Every moment in the market is unique. What happened yesterday is not what will happen today. What happened 3 o'clock today, what happened 3:30 today, or yesterday is not what will happen today, because every moment in the market is unique. Sorry guys, the buyers in the market who were there yesterday at 3:30 and the buyers who are here today, not the same thing. Every moment is unique. The traders who were there to push the market up yesterday and or who are here to push the market up today are totally different people. An edge is nothing more than a high probability that something will happen over the other. The market will either go up or down. We have a high probability of that happening, right? So we get to discuss this, and we see this. You have to be able to actually align these things and put them into your mental environment. But actually, at this present moment in time, you can actually take this to your heart, but it's very difficult to put them in there. And therefore, the activities that you have to do that will help you actually get that in there. Because once you are able to do that, then if you believe that anything can happen in the market, and if you believe that every moment in the market is unique, and if you believe that your edge, your bullish RME, or your order blocks, or whatever it is instrument you are or technical analysis, whatever feature is you are using to determine your edge, if you believe that they are just basically an indication of a higher probability of this happening there over this, I mean, there's no way you could go wrong. You will be able to set up your trading plan and approach it the right way. So number four, there is a random distribution between your wins and losses on any given set of variables you are using to determine the edge. There's a random distribution between your wins and losses on any given set of variables you use to determine your edge. If you are using a moving average, a 21 moving average, and a 45 moving average, there will be a random distribution between the wins and losses that will be used, that will be appearing on those indicators, right? If you are waiting for moving average crossover, maybe the first moving average crossover won't work, the third one maybe will work, the fourth one might work, the fifth one might not work, the seventh one might not work, the 20th one will work, the 19th one might not work. Like, there's a random distribution between the wins and losses you will experience on any trading system you are using, on any trading rules, on any trading indicators, on any trading setup, order blocks, whether it's price actions, whatever it is that you are using, there will be a random distribution between wins and losses. Your support and resistance, or your moving average crossover, whatever is that you are going to use to trade VIX 75 at this point in time, on which time frame, it might work today, tomorrow it might not work, 5 minutes from now it will work if you are scalping, 30 minutes from now it might not work if you are scalping. So there is a random distribution between your wins and losses on any given set of variables you use to determine an edge. There is no, you are not always going to be correct, but if you stick to those variables you use and you take them out consistently, what you basically have to do is make sure that you take all the traits that will be given to you by the system, because you don't know which one is actually going to be the right one. But if you manage to take all the 20 traits given to you by that trading system, or by that indicator, or whatever system, or whatever analysis form of analysis you are using, whatever form of analysis you are using, and you manage to take all those 20 traits, it will happen to be that maybe most of the traders will be losses, but if you have minimized, if you have taken your risk very well, there won't be big losses. And if you have taken your TP also well calculated, there will be big wins, reasonable wins, and therefore your wins will always end up being more than your losses. I will go do into details further on many videos on how to set your stop loss, take profit, and all this under those regions. right? But there is a random distribution between wins. These are fundamental truths of the market. You cannot argue with them. Trust me. There is no guy who can come up here anywhere who will come and argue with me. Anything can happen in the market. Every moment in the market is unique. An edge is nothing more than just an indication that there's a high probability of this thing happening over the other, and there's a random distribution between your wins and your losses. You don't know when the win is going to come or when the loss is going to come. No one can tell me that. No one can tell you when the win is going to come or when the loss is going to come. So the fifth one, fundamental truths of the market. You cannot argue with this. These are fundamental truths. Get me someone who can argue with me. This comment down below in the comment section. You don't need to know what is going to happen next to make consistent profit. You do not need to know what is going to happen next to make consistent profits. Consistent profits has nothing to do with knowing what is going to happen next. There's nothing to do. God doesn't want anyone to know the future. God doesn't want anyone to know the future, what will happen in the future. So no one actually knows what is going to happen in the future. There's no relationship between you knowing what the market is going to do next and consistent results. There is no relationship. So I will be able to teach you how to put these five fundamental truths into your belief system, because once you truly have them in your belief system, you'll be able to do and trade just automatically. So just to prevent the video from being long, I'm going to stop here. Please comment below what you want me to discuss, any particular topics as well, while I'm working on my playlist and to determine which type of videos to arrange after this. So guys, please again subscribe, join us on this journey. We are going to share wonderful news. We are going to disqualify all these hypes and marketing schemes that people are busy with on social media, Instagram, beautiful cars, stacks of cash, trying to tell you that Forex is easy. It's painful hard work, guys. Don't trust any such type of scams. People are selling you a lot of expensive courses and all these things. Trust me, guys. You don't need any of that. You don't need any of that. You'll see people bragging about their money and all this on their status and talking about all. Trust me, they. In fact, I'm going to over times. If you stay with me, I will reveal to you, and you yourself will even be able to tell when the person actually knows what he's talking about. When a forex trader knows what he's talking about, there are a lot of them who are talking nonsense. They are talking things that are disagreeing with fundamental truths of the market. And therefore, if you know these fundamental rules and you put them into practice and you see their results, I mean, it will be amazing. Consistent profits is your destiny if you follow and subscribe and you learn these fundamental rules. I'm not saying I'm a guru. Trust me, guys. Actually, what